Boston Red Sox catcher Sandy León scored the game-winning run in the bottom of the 10th, and new Red Sock Eduardo Nunez smashed 2 home runs and had the game-winning hit. It capped off a great night for Nunez and the Boston catchers. Welcome to the Boston Red Sox Newsfeed post-game recap. I'm Joe Danker reporting for CLNS, a leading online provider of audio-visual coverage for the Boston Red Sox. The win puts the Red Sox record at 57-48, and they keep pace with the first-place New York Yankees, who beat Tampa Bay tonight. The Sox are just a half game out of first place in the AL East and have a game-and-a-half lead in the wild card race. Is it too early to start tracking the wild card? I don't think so. The loss halts the Royals' 9-game win streak, and their 54-48 record puts them in second place in the AL Central behind the Cleveland Indians and sets them back to 3 games behind the Sox in the wild card standings. Despite the win, the game wasn't very pretty at times. The Red Sox committed 3 errors and made several more fumbling, poorly executed plays in the infield. The Sox starting pitcher Eduardo Rodriguez could only get through 4 innings, allowing 3 walks, 7 hits, and 4 earned runs. His pitch count was into the 90s by the time the 4th inning was over. The Royals starter Trevor Cahill could only get through 4 innings as well, as he allowed 8 hits and 5 earned runs before the Kansas City bullpen was called upon. Eduardo Nunez was the hero tonight, but catcher Christian Vasquez had himself a fantastic game. He went 3 for 4 with a double, a triple, 2 RBIs, and a run. Vasquez also showed off his throwing arm, gunning down speedster Lorenzo Cain, trying to steal second in the 8th inning. It was the first time Cain had been thrown out this season. Jackie Bradley Jr. went 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs, and the rookie Rafael Devers went 2 for 5 with an RBI. After a scoreless first inning, the Red Sox got on the board in the second when JBJ singled to center and Xander Bogaerts walked. But with yet another poor example of base running, Bogaerts got caught off second on a Mitch Moreland fly ball, and JBJ took third base on the play and came home for the first run of the game when Christian Vasquez blasted a triple to right, 1-0 Red Sox. Eduardo Nunez cracked a solo home run in the bottom of the third that made it 2-0 Red Sox. But by the 4th inning, Erod had worked his pitch count up into the 80s and 90s and was starting to fade. He gave up a single to Moss, who moved to third on a center field line drive by Gordon. Merrifield drove in Moss with a drive to right. Erod got Bonifacio to strike out, but with 2 down and 2 on, Lorenzo Cain squeaked a shot just inside the pesky pole that went for a 3-run home run, putting the Royals up 4-2. It seemed as if the game had changed in just an instant. 1 minute the Sox are up 2-0, the next they're down 4-2. However, the Red Sox answered in the bottom of the 4th with 2 more runs of their own. After Moreland worked a 1-out walk, Vasquez drove him in with a long double to center. Rafael Devers rang up his second RBI of the game on a single that brought Vasquez around to score. It was a 4-4 tie game going into the 5th. Lefty Fernando Abad came on in the 5th inning, which ended Erod's unimpressive outing. Abad gave up a single to Salvador Perez, but Moustakas grounded into a 5-6-3 double play and Brandon Moss struck out looking. Nunez's second home run of the game came in the bottom of the 5th with a leadoff shot to left to make it 5-4 Red Sox. Welcome to Boston, Eduardo Nunez. His home run knocked Royal starter Trevor Cahill out of the game, and reliever Scott Alexander came on in relief. But he wasn't very relieving, as he promptly gave up a single to Hanley Ramirez, who was forced out at second on a grounder by JBJ. And then with 2 outs, Bogaerts singled to center and JBJ advanced to third. Moustakas then made an error on a Moreland shot that drove in JBJ to make it 6-4 Red Sox. Abad stayed in to start the 6th inning. Rookie Rafael Devers made his first major league error with a bad throw that allowed El City's Escobar to reach second base, and Gordon then walked. A passed ball put Escobar on third, and with men on first and third and nobody out, with 3 for 3 Whit Merrifield coming up, Red Sox manager John Farrell made a pitching change and brought in Blaine Boyer. It didn't matter. Merrifield singled in Escobar on a deflected ground ball by Devers to make it 6-5 Red Sox. With still nobody out, a wild pitch and a shot to right scored Gordon to tie the game at 6-6. Boyer then loaded the bases with a walk to Cain, and that would be the night for Mr. Boyer. Thank you very much. Lefty Robbie Scott came in to face the left-hander Hosmer. A botched play by Nunez at third scored Merrifield, and a sac fly brought in Bonifacio to make it 8-6. Moustakas grounded into a double play to put an end to the ugly inning. Lefty Ryan Buchter started the 7th for the Royals, and with no outs issued walks to Benintendi and Ramirez, and threw a pass ball putting men on first and third. JBJ then lifted a fly ball to right to bring in Benny on a sac fly to pull the Sox within a run 8-7. The Royals made a mid-inning pitching change and brought in fireball and righty Brandon Maurer, who went right to work and got Bogaerts to pop out and struck out Moreland to end the inning. 8-7 Royals. In the top of the 8th with Kane singled and with one out, and Hosmer at the plate. He broke for second on a fastball, and Christian Vasquez unleashed a heat-seeking missile that Xander Bogaerts masterfully snagged and tagged the runner just as he was about to touch second base for the second out. Hosmer struck out, and the threat was over. Vasquez continued his great game with a single to lead off the 8th. Brockholt pinch ran for the catcher, and Devers singled to put men on first and third. Mookie Betts followed with a sac fly that drove in Holt to tie the game 8-8. Red Sox reliever Craig Kimbrell took the mound on the top of the 9th for the Sox and struck out Moustakas and Moss to send the game to the bottom of the 9th at 8 runs apiece. The Sox couldn't get a run across in the bottom of the 9th. 2 extra innings we go. Matt Barnes took the mound for the Sox in the 10th and gave up a single but shut the door after that. To lead off the bottom of the 10th, Sandy Leon worked a full count from Royals reliever Mike Minor and ripped a double. Rafael Devers struck out, and then Mookie Betts was intentionally walked to put 2 men on and 1 out. It was to set up the double play and to get to Nunez, who had already hit 2 home runs. Was this a smart move by the Royals? I don't know. Another wild pitch advanced the runners to second and third, removing the double play possibility. Nunez hit a grounder to short and got thrown out at first, but Leon scampered home, and the throw came, but Leon beat the tag with a great dodge and a hand tag at home plate to score the 9th and winning run. Sox win 9-8. The 2 teams meet again tomorrow at 1:35 for the rubber match of this 3-game series. This has been Joe Danker for CLNS.